So the summer months means summer travel trips with friends, right? Right. We'd like to do that. But how do you decide just who's invited? So think about that for a minute. A woman wrote to the New York Times saying that her friends went on an amazing trip abroad, but they didn't invite her. So she admits that she's had issues traveling with the organizer of the trip in the past, but is still very hurt that she was excluded from the trip. It's a real dilemma. What should she do?
I mean, we don't exactly know why in this case. We'd love to have access to the other friends, for sure. I think, or maybe we don't.
Yeah.
We might not want to know the answer. But travel compatibility is a big, big deal. It's big when you're with a partner. It's big with other families. It's big with friends. And at the same time, sometimes if it doesn't work out, then you could be doing something to a friendship if you're not part of the memory making that probably happened on that trip abroad. She's now left out on two fronts. She wasn't invited, and now all the memories they had on the south of France beach, she has no idea what those references are. So I think the bigger discussion here is why, and then who's responsible for having the big girl sit down to have a discussion.
Explain it to her?
Because I think that, you know, finances is one thing. You know, there's a lot of people who love to travel, want to travel, but maybe not everybody in the friend group can afford that kind of travel.
And then
that hurts because that's nobody's fault. But if I've saved my money and saved my vacation days and I want to go, and I've got some girls who want to go, I also don't want to be held back, and I also don't want to bring the friend along, and then she's like, "Oh, you guys are going out to dinner again?" You know, no, exactly.
You can say no, like I can't afford it or whatever, but like the invitation
we don't know why.
didn't come.
We don't know why, and I think that's
what
the
if she's just a little bit of a wet blanket? The thing is that if she's a wet blanket, I'm trying to think about like why. If you're friends with a wet blanket, do you tell the person that they're a wet blanket?
It's true.
I think I'm a wet blanket sometimes. You and I are wet blankets.
I think we are.
No, you're not.
No, I do. We are. Well,
No.
we traveled with you guys to Vegas. We all went to Vegas. This was for Marcy's 50th birthday. And there was a time when you guys all went out to a concert and we didn't go.
Yeah. And there's a time where I get anxiety too. It's like, oh, let's get this taxi. And I'm like, oh, let's walk for 8 minutes instead. You know what I mean? Like the money part. And I was away with friends once in a hotel and someone grabbed an orange juice out of the mini bar. Thank you! Thank you! I was like, I will put on my sneakers and go buy an orange juice before, like, I don't know what happens.
that part? I just lost you.
Exactly.
Lost you.
I've reacted that way in situations, and I realize that I'm being the wet blanket in those moments, and I get self-conscious about it. Like, stop it. Stop. You're on vacation. Have fun. But then there's just a frugality, I guess, and a practicality that makes me angry about the orange juice. I need to get over it.
Can you have different travel personalities and still make it work? If there was another person, like at least give two. Yeah, you can, right? I think you can. You need two who are the same. So
I don't know.
Well, I mean, what if there is not another person to match the wet blanketness of the person?
Well, if they're a happy wet blanket, I think I'm a happy wet blanket. I'd just be like, if you said to me, we're all going to the club tonight, and I'm on vacation, I just want to sit in the hotel room and read my book. Why is that a problem?
That's not a problem. But Mel, wouldn't you appreciate that as long as she didn't make you feel bad about it, being like, oh, well, I wish I could go for dinner, but I don't have the money.
Yeah, no one wants that.
If she just said, like, I'm just going to stay in the hotel room because I never get time alone, but you guys go and I love it.
Listen, on paper, it sounds good. On paper, it sounds good, but I would feel bad even if you said it in the nicest way possible. Like, I'm good, go have dinner, go to the club, go rip it up, see you at 4 a.m., because that's when I'm coming back home from the club.
Yeah.
And so I would still feel bad that my friend is left behind,
I don't think
even
you would.
if she wanted to.
I don't think you would. I don't think you would if, and maybe I'm overstepping, I'm assuming things about our relationship, but I think if it was me, you'd be okay with it. Because you like me a lot. I think if you have an underlying problem in the relationship, it's bigger than you're more irritated because there's something else going on.
So we go back to the original question, who's putting the big girl pants on and having that conversation?
It's the most awkward conversation.
Because
like, be terrible.
A conversation should have happened, though, before the non-invitation didn't go out.
I agree with that.
Right?
So, like, the organizer of the trip should have put on her big girl pants and said, hey, I know you're probably expecting to go because this group of friends travels all the time, and then here's why, and then destroyed that other person's life. I'd be ruined. I'd be ruined. ruined if you guys did that.
No,
Like,
then you go over the top. Then you're gonna be like, if that person is someone who just wants to sit in the room and read, then you're like, you know what? This trip, we all want to go out and rage every night and come home at 4 o'clock in the morning.
We didn't
and we
think-
all want to stay at the hotels where we get the orange juice right out of the mini bar. And you
Give it a
kind of
heads
like,
up.
you have to go way overboard and say like, is this a trip you really want to go on? It has to be that obvious, right?
Thanks for watching. We've got lots more discussion and debates on everything from food and fashion to pop culture and current events. Don't forget to click like and subscribe.